Hello everyone and welcome to another Steel Division 2 video. We're gonna start the week with some more playing every division, or at least that's the plan. That this comes out on Monday. And since we are done with the F tier divisions, we now go to D tier division. Remember, the goal is to, it's not the goal. The goal is to play every division, but my plan is to work my way up from the trash divs to the good divs. Now, it's actually fun to play some of these trash divs, so we're getting close to the ones that are actually fun to play, but this is not one of them. I actually played it recently off stream, and it was pure pain. I was up against 4th US on Brest West, which is not the best map for 4th US. Still, was rough with 52nd, and I very clearly lost that game. It was also against a competent player that didn't help. So if someone actually knows how to play his division, 52nd Sicherungs is a struggle boat. So yeah, the problem with it is just has severe phase locking. Basically, it's the only armor that you can bring in B phase. This is the only armor that you can bring in. Or in C phase, you can start bringing more armor, but it's only Panthers and the Jagdpanzer 4, which is a problem because you actually want some medium armor as well, light armor 2 preferably. You get the VK in A phase, but this is also about it. There's nothing more to it than that. So it's just very difficult. And then your infantry tab doesn't really make up for the lack of armor. It kind of sucks. You have some good units there, right? You have the Panzergren, you have the Fallschirmjäger FG42, and that's about it. Sicherungs are good, but you kind of want them together with some actually good infantry, you know. This is what makes them good, not this. So they're great to have. They're not great if this is the only thing you have, and that's kind of the problem here. And then support has actually some good tools. TTAB has some good tools. The rest is kind of fine, although artillery once again is a little bit of a problem. So the first things first, how do you play this? So you can definitely go balanced or Maverick. I wouldn't go any other income with this. Really, I don't think it's suited for Vanguard. I don't think you can play it for Victory either. I can kind of see the Maverick point of view just because it is not, at least for the queue, where you have the long arty grinds, this is not built for it. It doesn't have the arty tab for it, really not. And waiting to C phase to push might be a big problem. The problem is you don't have a lot of tools to push in B phase either. So this is kind of where I see the problem with this division. And with any income that you can get, you just never... Like, waiting till Z phase is really bad, especially if you play against another balanced deck in the queue. You just get grinded down by artillery, or you just lose to that by the point you actually can get armor. And for Maverick, you just don't really have to push potentially. Don't have any super hyper efficient units as well that can do that. That's a bit of an issue, but we're gonna get into how to build this. So this is my build. It's not the most sophisticated build. I think there might be better ways, but I can't really think of any other ways right now. So these you basically want to take because it's a free. You get a sniper. It's another unit at single vet compared to the Aufklärer. So this is a no-brainer. Since this is my only recon, I don't really want to use it for the sniper, but having it is better than not having it. The VK is really necessary. It's kind of bad because it doesn't have good armor, but you really need this as some mobile answer to some problems like half tracks and such. The Panther D in B phase also not optional. I could not vet it, but I feel like if you really need all 4 Aufklärer Panther Ds in B phase, you're probably having some other issues as well. Since this is 1 tick of income, so you would spend 4 ticks of income just on that. And I'm not really sold on that idea. Now the infantry tab. So this is phase locked. You take it in A phase, then append it in B phase. This one is also phase locked, so no option to take it earlier. And then this one you can switch around. Originally, I had it in A phase because I felt like, yeah, you kind of needed to not lose in A phase. I still feel that way. However, I think I'm just going to try it for now. And then I actually know, because then worst case scenario and most likely scenario, at least I have something to talk about in the second part, or the third part of the video, where we're going to go back to the deck and see what we will change. And probably they will go back to A phase because you really need them to not lose. So I have these in A phase now. I used to have them in B phase. I think currently at Panzerfaust you want to have them because you want to have some Panzerfaust in A phase. You want to have the MG34 even though it's not great. Sicherungs, no brainer. You have to. You should take one in A and one in B phase to deal with light armor, because there's just not much else you can do against light armor. You really want that. Leadership, I think, is really important because units really need them to actually do at least something. really think you lack pressure otherwise, so this is not negotiable. And then these things, the problem with them is I've definitely seen people in the past using them, like especially the Flakkampftruppen, together with the Feldjäger, and then you can kind of use them as big meal shields and have some other infantry units behind them, and they are super cheap. The problem is everything got cheaper over the last few patches, so like this used to be bad at 15 points even back then, but it was also just very cheap. Nowadays you have a lot of 15-point disheartened units with machine guns, and this is really not that cheap anymore comparatively. Yeah, also fallback nerf, the infantry meta is over, so I just don't think this is a good strategy anymore. I think it might have been, but definitely not at this point. So yeah, there's that. Next up, tank tab. Yeah, I think so. Basically, the way it doesn't really make sense to just fill that with heavy tanks. You're not going to play that kind of game, I think, since if you really need that many Panthers, you probably have lost already anyway. And then I also just rather have another card of Jagdpanzer, because you actually get more of them and they are cheaper, and that really matters, considering that all your armor is expensive. Support tab, I don't think there's many different ways of building this. I would love to have the Feldjäger, but I just think that for free, it's just not worth the activation points. Because you want to have everything in here, and we're going to get to why in a second, and then 3 points is just too expensive. Now, why do you want everything? So these two you really need to at least establish some dominance early on. Remember, if you're really up against a super armor heavy divisions, you're probably in a struggle boat anyway. Like, it's not a good matchup. That thing first up. Against some infantry, you really want to have these to zone them out. Now, you would love to take the IH-18, but it only comes in B phase. Would especially be valuable in A phase for the heat shells as well. Not that they are great, but it at least gives you a little bit more AT, and that can really make a difference. More machine guns might also be worth an idea, but I think this is the way to go. Now, this thing you really need because your infantry sucks otherwise, and this is the good one with 800 meters range. Commander, I usually don't take it these days anymore because I hardly ever use it, but I think with this division, it's really worth having the veterancy to kind of help you. And you know, lots of things that they bring in are cheap, so you're probably able to afford the commander and kind of then use that as a force multiplier, which I think is really pretty crucial. AT tab. Yeah, I don't think there's many different options here. This one would be cool. Even in B phase, I think it's useful. But the problem is, I feel like you really need all of these. You definitely need this because this will not do as well against heavier armor. The 15 points in pen of regular AP shell between the CIS2 and CIS3 really matters a lot. And the ABCR, while not great, is nice to have. 2 cards of bazooka units, I think, are a must-have. These two would also be great. Not these two. This one is actually pretty decent. It has some survivability, AT rifle, Panzerfaust, and smokes. So for 5 points, good availability too. But I just can't fit it in. And then you can definitely debate between these two. I think having the heat shell is worth it, even though you lose out on range and penetration. So you can definitely. Oh no, it only comes in B phase anyway. My bad. Never mind. That's easy choice then. This one. A8 tab, these are phase locked, so you take them in the respective phase. Artillery tab is also heavily phase locked. You get this only B phase, this only comes in B phase, this only comes in B phase, this one as well. You can take this, and originally I had it so that it took these and the battery Führer, or what I know it's not battery Führer called, it's something. Anyway, artillery leader, and they kind of worked because these things are actually pretty good if they have radio and you use them within radio range, but it's super not efficient in terms of activation points, and didn't have the commander, so I think this is actually way better. This one you really need because you kind of use it as 2k if it really needs to. The heat shell is also pretty useful, and the mortars are actually pretty good. You can do the wolf pack, and that really shreds. Air tab, yeah. You can take the fighter if you really want to. I personally think since the speed difference is not that big and the loadout difference is also not that big, the fighter bomber is just better. This thing is just not really good enough in my opinion. Recon would actually be great, but I decided to go more air spam since I go balanced. And yeah, that's about it. Recon plane would be great to have, but I think this is basically how I set up. This you need to have in A phase, because if you take it later on, you might just get overwhelmed early on by armor, and that's goodbye basically. But if you take it, maybe you should. I don't want to, but I think we should still take the recon plane because we have AT planes. And whenever you have AT planes, you actually should have a recon plane to accompany it, because otherwise you might lose line of sight. And that's really a struggle. So I think we actually change it back. Even though I think you kind of want to go air spammy, since you can't spam artillery that hard. Either one of those two you have to do if you go balance. But yeah, I think we're going to give it a try like that and see how it works. All right, so here we are again. I'm up against Schneider Klaus for the third time because we ended up on Gora first, which is, you all know it. I decided, so the way I do this for this kind of series, I don't quit on maps that are bad for my division, because this map matchup is also bad for my division. But if it's a map that is just not fun to play at all, or not fun to watch for you guys, because just sitting around the Gora is really not that enjoyable to watch, I'm just going to quit. The second game was Illo, with the map was Illo, which he quit, and it's also totally understandable. Also would have quit if he hadn't done so before me. So yeah, we're up here on Slut's quest now. This is terrible for me because he's playing 715 infantry, which is actually still pretty good. And yeah, we've just talked about 50 seconds. So oh, sorry, hope you didn't hear that. Yeah, I'm on the good side at least, but I don't really have much pressure in the open. That's going to be a bit of an issue. I can hold this one, I think. Oh, this one will be a little bit of a stretch. Maybe I definitely cannot pressure this. I might be able to pressure this, but he has some fast light armor that can actually stop me, so that's a bit of a problem. Here, maybe... Yeah, I mean, the problem is just that this is a map that... He has a lot of 2K tools that can really deal well with mine. I can't really do anything against the elephants. He has way better artillery, and the fact that I cannot grind early on is really a big problem. Like, Lorraine will just kill everything that I have. So yeah, fun all around. How are we gonna do this? I mean, I need to okay, so this we need to change the transport situation. I took these deliberately in the Opel Blitz in A phase. Now I've moved them to B phase. I actually don't need to be in the Opel Blitz, so we can actually take these next time, because now I'm too slow. And that's a problem. That's actually a big problem. So I'm gonna try and rush in here. He can stop that. He does have the tools for it. I also cannot sustain at secrecy. That's a problem, because then town fights are gonna be really problematic in B phase. This is also gonna be super problematic. I don't really know how I'm gonna go about this. I'm gonna be very honest here. I mean, this is I think we're facing very much a loss here just by division matchup. Schneider Klaus is not an inexperienced player either, so I think I think if it wasn't for 52nd, I would stand a chance, but not with 52nd. That's gonna be a really tough one. Because I mean, you don't even need a good player to win against this division. All you need is not to suck, and he doesn't suck. So yeah. That's gonna be tough luck here. Also, I think we need to get some Sicherungs there, because he has light armor that he can bring here. I'm gonna bring it back here and then hope that the light armor doesn't come from over there. We can also bring these guys up here for recon. I should probably cut off the open. I don't want to risk... Unless I need to, I don't want to put one of my valuable Pack 40s there. It's just, they are really valuable. I'd rather use one of these probably to deal with. Because this is also not super easy for him to cover off with AA. So I might be able to get this through. I already took the recon plane, by the way, just so you know. I think this is very useful. He is ready. Yeah. So this map I just didn't want to quit again, because first of all I want to play at some point as well, but also I think, you know, having bad maps and matchups is definitely part of the series, because we also want to see the limitations of the divisions, right? So it's not about me winning with every division, it's about me playing them and experiencing them, and kind of you also being able to see what they can and what they cannot do. But of course what we don't want is play a game that's not even fun to watch, so that's why no to Gora. But this one I very much do play. Even though yeah, I think we all know what's the most likely outcome is going to be of this. So, but that is not what this is about. All right, so this is where one of these 15-point units is actually useful. I'm gonna put this here, and then we could put. We're gonna put a recon in the open. You might be able to spot that. That's okay, but at least it gives us options. And I think we're gonna take these because what I don't want him to do is to grab this right away. Now, if I had the FG42, I think it would be easier to make some pressure in the town. Fortunately, we do not have these. Sicherungs are also super slow to arrive, so we have to be a little bit mindful about those. And then what was it called? I think, yeah, someone made a quite elaborate feedback comment under a video versus your pass from your pass about Stan. Now, I didn't agree with all the takes, but it was a really nice and thoughtful comment. So quite critical, but that's not a bad thing, in my opinion. Like the important part, thing for me is that I do get feedback, and at the end of the day, what I do with it is up to me, for the good and the bad. But yeah. So just a reminder for you guys, if I'm always happy if you guys provide some feedback, whatever that feedback really is, I'm more than happy to receive it. Happier to receive it than not to receive it. So, you know, if you have anything that you think is worth saying, say it. And I really appreciate it. I think that's, I do want to keep some of them in reserve in case I really need it. Now, what I think I can do here, actually, is... Oh, we should also probably bring some of these guys and a Panzerschreck. But we can actually take these. In the town, we have a little bit of an advantage with these things. And I think I might be able to make some plays over there. Planes, unfortunately, I cannot easily make. I would love to have more, though. And then we can bring this, like, I don't know, in here. That's actually not a good range. Might bring it in here, then. And just some more infantry. And I think we're ready. All right. I just didn't reply to him immediately because I was too focused, or not too focused. I did want to finish it up. I don't want to, you know. All right, let's get going. But that's good because then he doesn't know that I don't have 2k in A-phase. or any armor at all, basically. Yeah. I mean, I have these guys, but they don't count. Like, it's if that's your only armor, basically don't have armor, right? So that's good. So maybe he's gonna take it slow and carefully in A phase. The problem is, once again, we play the Q, and I've played against him before. He plays very Q focused builds, very grindy builds, which means most likely. Yeah, I forgot that he has all the 20. I thought about it. I didn't say it. I should have said, oh, he has the SKS at 1 in A phase. Wow. But yeah, he builds very Q heavy decks because he knows, of course, that in the Q, yeah, often things are going slow. and arty heavy, so he builds his decks like that, at least the few times I've played against him, which is a problem for me. I'm gonna put all of these in return if I don't want to do them anything unless I have to. The Edge 18 is a problem. Not the biggest one, but is a problem nonetheless. I want to take these guys. Okay, so he has an IG-33 over there. That's all right. So the good thing is I can kind of prevent him from getting in there. Easily, at least. Okay, he has a blob there. Interesting choice. So 15-9, but that's not really something that's gonna... I will be able to maintain long term. This is very risky. No, actually, I'm not gonna do that. It's not worth risking those guys. And then we go, there we go, 14-10 as he equals things out. We can actually bring a Lettische Legionnaire here to do that. Probably want to have that just chilling there. And I think I'm going to bomb the IG-33 because it's just going to be able to, you know, provide me some good trades early on. Then we bring one of these in to kind of stop that. All right, let's see. Oh no, there's the... Never mind. We're going to have to wait. Not super long, but for just a bit. And then... Oh, this is what he's doing. Okay. This one I kind of wanted to go to cover over here. Oh, no, no, no. Why are you doing this? I hate this kind of pathing. Okay. Also gonna get one of these in. And then we're gonna get actual artillery and just grind that. What is that? Oh, it's an actual tank. There's armor coming in. Oh, come on, you could start shooting. My thing is better armored than his. I don't think he can really survive that well. Wow. Yeah, this thing is just absolutely shredding me. I think I need a pack in there. Oh, he also spotted this, which is not good. Alright, and that should do the trick. Might be busy. No. Okay, stopped in time. Should have waited. I was just not patient enough for this. I can hold him off here. I cannot really do much more than that. It's very unfortunate. We're gonna bring more of these. I have to be, again, I have to be very mindful with using my AT guns, so... And there we go. That's the big guns. Out right there. Alright. This I can kill. This I actually love. Oh yeah, there we go. That's my advantage gone. See, this is the thing, right? Artillery comes right out early on. Because it's not, I mean, it's not only good, it's also... I'm trying to... There we go. I want to kill this off. Because this is really killing me. This is, yeah, this is a good range. Because I always put things into ranges where they just don't want to be. Right, I'm gonna load it over there. And now you could start shooting, please. Got another in here. And then I think we're gonna bring an AT gun in here as well. Come on, he's driving this thing so openly. Yet my unit fails to spot it. I hate it. So this is one thing that I personally find so annoying. It's the fact that it snaps onto the building, so I don't see it. It could have been in position such a long time ago, yet it wasn't. There we go. Oh, did you? Oh, okay. What are you? Oh, he's ground attacking. Okay, it's a lot more sense now. And he killed my pack. Did he do the ground attack? No, he didn't do the bomb trick. Okay. Yeah, that's just rough. I mean, oh, and did he go? That didn't even go after the IG-33. Did it go after the SDK set? Damn it. Things not going super well here. I don't really, as I said, I don't really know how to push here because the problem is I don't have any pressure whatsoever. I really just don't. We should get AA. Problem is, probably just because this is so awkward here because it's so easy to him to spot that and deal with that. You know, just easily kill those off, which he's doing right now. Yeah. But what are you gonna do? Right, we can kind of start preemptively bombing this. Then we put this on a efficient shot because I don't want to waste its ammo. I don't think we want to have this thing shooting, at least not now. And we should start thinking about getting reinforcements in here. Because we really are going to need it. Had I known that was the SDK set that I was focusing on, I think I would have brought in the AT plane. Yeah, this is not good, but I kind of need them now to be there and hold ground. But I think we can bring the AT plane next and deal with that. Never mind, we cannot. What's he going after? Oh no. Okay, we might still be able to get something out of this though. Alright. Retreat. Now, please. Oh, this is expensive. Emmett, why are you expensive? Why are you expensive? it to efficient shot, not return fire anymore. And then we're gonna have to bring one of these in. Finally. Okay, maybe on this map, I actually really wish I had more of them. But I guess that's not up for debate now. Ooh. Another one over there. Might want to bring another Panther over there as well. Oh, why is he bringing us so far forward? I mean, that's not a smart thing. Can you please not waste your ammo on a tiger that you are very clearly not gonna kill? This, yeah, see, this is the arty problem. You could just do that over and over again. Right, no, not really. Can't really do much because of his AA. We can shift this over here. I'll be able to do something, and then we can bring one of these up there. That gives him some room to operate over there. Yeah, I might kill that now. It's alright. Actually, I'd rather focus this. That's too greedy. No. I lost line of sight. Of course I did. We're gonna bring more support. I think we're gonna bring one of these over here. Might be able to kill one of those off, but yeah, I mean, there's just not much that I can do at this point. And now it's a Sturmpanzer, that's another big problem. I mean, it didn't bring an elephant yet, which is good for me, but it's about it in terms of good. I mean, yeah, and see, this is the grind that I was talking about. Oh, okay, got some good luck. Not complaining about that at all. And this might be able to win out against that, and then I can bring some of these in. I can bring some leader in. I think we also bring the commander next. Alright. Alright. I actually like what I see here. Panthers giving me maximum value. This is what I need, and then we might be able to re-grab some ground over here. We can start opening up on the IG-33. And that gives him some more options there. You can start shooting at this because I know it's over there, and then I think you might want to move back here. Because, yeah, we have to keep things mobile. Oh, look at that. Good that I moved that ammo. Right. All right. So we're doing work here. We're doing work here. Not enough, but we're doing it. A little bit of it, at least. All right. And now I think it's time to bring the commander out. We're going to bring it back here. And we can just start running this again. Oh, come on. I mean, yeah, it's the... Alright, but we are grabbing ground in the center, and this is what we need. Just need to slowly outgrind him. Oh, yeah. I'll also be able to do this, since he's very obviously not moving his things. And then I just need another leader, because this could be radio range, right there. We're gonna put them in return fire, maybe they stay a little bit stealthy there. Be great. And then another leader. Let's get reveal itself. My Panther can do with that. It's not the best 2k AG tool, but it has AG, and he can do stuff at 2k. So maybe I get a lucky hit here as well. I don't think I do, but I might, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for. It's what I have to hope for here, really. And let's also be honest. I would be getting ticked down here heavily if it wasn't for the fact that I had the good side of the map, right? We have to acknowledge that. Let's put it at that. Okay, this one might get the kill. Come on, drop the bombs. Oh, if I lose those now, that's really bad. Okay, so we need to get more AA by the looks of it. To get more AA, and it looks like my planes are getting out of there. Oh, come on. Nothing's ever easy, is it? Okay, so this thing is hiding in here. I'm just gonna let it relax over there for the time being. Then we go after this. Sturmpanzer coming in. Okay, I mean, I just need to hold out till sea phase, and then I can maybe actually do something with my Panthers, even though it's probably not enough. I'm not really sure if he's spotting my Panther, but I don't want to risk it now. He's not. Spotting my units over there. Alright. And now we're gonna bring AA back here. Get with my commander. Oh, seriously? Come on. This is not even funny. Like, gotta be kidding me. First dang hit. Just immediately kills it. I think, yeah, this is Sturmpanzer. I thought as much. It was a little bit of a risky call in, but because I might get flanked over an elephant, that's not good. I'm actually happy to just kill that. I really think I need to take it slow and kind of go for the trades, even though that's not good, really. But I don't really know how else I want to do it. I'm gonna be completely honest here. You're not gonna go after that. Yeah, because that's the AA. You are please just going back, and then I can... Oh shit, that's not what I want. Yeah, it's keeping that far back, which is important. Now we get actual tanks. The problem is, if this turns into an elaborate, long tank fight, this is far from ideal for me. Actually, everything but ideal for me. This is also not the way to go, by the way. This is just my solution for now, and not the most ideal one. But I think we're gonna bring a leader here next to my armor, even though it's just an infantry leader. I might actually be able to do it. Okay, never mind. We're gonna bring that far back, and we're also gonna bring that far back, and then we're gonna bring this one as well. And then if you have all of these together, then we're just gonna go one of the elephants. Cannot really compete up against all of them, I don't think. I could also go and bomb this, actually, it might be better. But I think I'm gonna do that when I have lots of these, and then I just try to overwhelm them here. The problem is it's also, you know, it's also getting a lot of, it's also getting a big air force out of here. So, out here, which is a long-term problem. Is that not... I don't think it's gonna get through. No, it doesn't. Okay. Oh no, this is such a classic me move. And then we're gonna queue up an evac order. Alright. Now we're in a spot where we can... Oh, and of course that hits as well. Killing my supply, which is pretty bad. Right, this is gonna get out, which is good. And now we need to find a way to deal with that. An FG-42 can actually do that. At least this is gonna absolutely wreck him. Alright, so one thing that I'm realizing, for a Q deck, when we go balanced, what we really should be doing is probably take ammo with our... Oh. Alright, let's probably take ammo with our transports. The problem with that is, we're still not, you know, we're still not built for actual duration here. So I'm not really sure about that. Actually, I think we can get that. The elephant is too far back. We just need to micro it a little bit carefully. And, you know, it's these kind of small crates that do matter. Got another flag right here. So this is actually pretty good for me, because this is telling me there's actually not much over there. So this is where I feel comfortable now. Actually, I'm not feeling comfortable anymore. But where I, in principle, would feel comfortable to actually try and make some ground over there. Oh, elephant moved up. Both missed out. Could definitely be doing some killing, but it is not. Oh, I spotted my leader. Jesus, this is so annoying. But here I feel comfortable that I can apply some pressure. So we're going to do that. So I have seen it, right. What we can also do is bring one of these in here because he's getting too far forward now. So we just have to look a lot for opportunities like these. He's also reaching now, like now would be the time for my planes, which is not coming currently. Yeah, we just have to constantly be looking for opportunities like that and try to find a way to eventually make ground. Now, so now he's doing the flip again, so now we might be able to go forward. I guess I'm just going to be playing cat and mouse here for a bit. Elephant over there, still a problem. Forget about that one. Yeah, we're just going to be poking forward a bit. Because once this is dead, my pack 40 can once again do work. As long as this is here, I can't. So if he makes a mistake and is not paying attention, unfortunately he is, then I will be able to eventually get the drop on him and get things done. It's just gonna take a while. That's the annoying part. I think we might be able to get another wolf pack going in here. And I have a radio for quite some distance here as well. That's the good thing about having all this spammable stuff. Actually, I need to tell it to go the right way. Yeah, because it's taking this right now. There we go. There we go. Then can wait a bit. We might lose that now because I sent it in alone. Might be able to now get going. If this thing is now opening up on where my pack 40 is going to be, I'm going to lose it. No, it's not. They're also oh, it's going to be expensive now. Yes, he has a lot there. Can you please just start shooting at this? No, you concede. You have APCR. Yeah, now it's turning the right way. Now it's not going to work anymore. Yeah, we're just gonna have to let this go now. Yeah, and see, this is the problem here. Now the art is just taking overhand. There's not much that I can do at this point to stop it. Like, what am I realistically gonna do? I just don't have the units that I need to compete with this. Like, I don't have good armor to stop this. I don't have the arty to keep the fight up. Like, what am I realistically speaking gonna do here? Trying to grab this, I guess. I'm gonna get more of these in here. But yeah, it's just gonna be able to drive me back here constantly now. And oh my god, look at this. This is such a shitty matchup, I gotta say. Like, what am I gonna do? There's nothing that I can do here. I can look for flanking positions, but he's not putting these guys far forward, right? He knows that. He knows that I cannot go there. He knows very well. And he also knows very well that he has a big advantage in the arty game, so... Not like I'm gonna... Yeah, the flag is nicely pushing with him. Might be able to get a side shot from him. But I also don't have endless panthers, right? So... I'm actually gonna... want you to run. Oh no, of course. the one time something hits something from me, it is from my artillery, it is exactly where I don't want it to hit. Showing side armor, so we might be able to engage it now. I think he kinda neglected his recon a little bit now. Oh, come on. It's turned in the right moment. And he got the turret stuck. Oh, this is pain. And I actually worked. The problem is also he has so much A, and the only thing I can really do is air spam, but what's air spam? What use is air spam if there's just A everywhere, right? So... Actually, it's not even... Oh, he even killed my... How did he kill that? Yeah, we might be able to get a lucky hit with that, but I'm also not really sure about that. What you might also be able to do is sneak this in here and then get the heat shell off, but it's not really enough to kill it either. My leader here also died, which is also bad, because I don't need that radio to deal with that AA. I'm not gonna get through there at the moment. And now... This thing can see my panther now. I'm gonna be mad. Oh, come on. I hit so many of these rockets. I know it's not a good accuracy, but like Jesus. At this time it's probably better to just commit. Like, none of them hitting even just the slightest. Like, how is that even possible? This is pain. This is so much pain. Oh, no, I forgot about this one, yeah. It's the... Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting grinded down slowly. There's just not much I can do. I mean, the only reason why I even came this far is the map advantage. Like, this matchup is horrible. 715th, unfortunately, is still one of the best divisions. Whereas 52nd is one of the worst. What are you gonna do? Might be able to preemptively strike. I mean, this thing annoys me still a bit. Like, I sense so much after that. I know that HE is not doing that much, and that the rockets were spread because of all this stuff. But, like, come on. Oh, no. Oh, no. Just give me a break, please, game. Like, how does it turn that fast? You're not even supposed to do that. Oh, I killed something here. I might kill a tiger too. Yes. Do kill a tiger. Elephant, unfortunately, is turned in a way where I cannot side-shot it. But, just don't really know how and where to make ground at this point. Okay, I can hope to grind it down eventually with artillery. Oh, there we go. Finally. Alright, now I can start shooting at whatever is there. And now I just brought my last tank over there, which is kind of sucks. Maybe we're gonna redirect it. Maybe I actually have some chance now again here. We have this. Oh, is he going? Oh, it's going after my wolf pack. Of course, he killed the next one with the first salvo. Oh my god, this is so rough. I mean, he's probably his raider here, but like, what am I? What can you even do? Like, this is sorry, I'm getting too. You don't want to hear me just raging, so sorry for that. It's just really rough, and it's so annoying too. Because I did make some good plays to try and get it, but he was also on top of the micro there, and I would argue I definitely got a bit of bad luck there as well with my my rocket planes. So, and they're actually pretty decent. Like, it's not that bad rocket planes too either, but just not good enough. Just not good enough. Oh, I forgot. I still have tanks. I just don't have the tanks that I need. Oh, okay, this got killed as well because yeah, why not? Strig over there. And this is actually not as big of a deal because I can just bring a Panzerschreck up there. This is not really the range. Oh, now it's going after the Möbelwagen. Alright, and now that it's here, we bring it up here. You can start hammering this. We can also redivert some supplies over there. Alright. Alright. I mean, what we're going to see right here is, yeah, look at that. Is that this game is most likely going to be decided by the artillery. More than that freaking, what's it called? Bounce. Wow, that was lucky by me. Much more than the armor, actually. That elephant, for example. Just because of the fact that he can just out-grind me. I just don't have the depth in artillery tab to even compete with that. So, yeah, and I see that there's the next target coming in. It's not like I can do much here. I should definitely bring one of these in. It's probably just gonna get wasted again as well eventually. So. Yeah, the RDTs, this was another issue that I was very worried about. So RDT are, of course, very good for town fights. A lot of my tools are not. Right, so it's a bit of a problem right there. Don't really have the tools for a town fight. And now it's going after this. And again, not much that I can do about that, unfortunately. So, yeah, Marder's now coming forward. Again, Marder, not really a tool that I can deal with easily. Because it could just upgrade to everything that I've got. So, I need to retreat that now. The only hope that I have, basically, is outranging it. There we go, my artillery is probably going to be that. It's all very light artillery, too. I think it's using the Italian ones. They're not actually that good. But, I guess if you just spam it to death, then at some point it will be good. Oh, I do see an opportunity here, though. If it doesn't outturn me again. Oh, and now, yeah, now the RDT are pushing forward. Not much that I can do about that. They are much better than me at town fighting. Because they have the tons of Berettas. Both missed. Oh, come on. He does one vet. I work hard for this opportunity and then it just misses. Jesus. This is so annoying. Seriously, man. I have accepted the fact that with this matchup I'm actually realistically not going to win. I'm just going to try for as long as I can. But like, these kind of things really piss me off. Because it's not like I don't work hard for these opportunities. And then this happens, so... The other thing here is leaving the the cover of his AA net. The bad thing is, he decided not to bomb it, which, yeah, I don't know. Sucks to suck, I guess. Oh, is he seeing those? Why is he turning them already? Why is he turning already? What does he see? He shouldn't see anything. Don't get it. Maybe there's some recon in some weird spot. Yeah, I think this is, at this point, we can just call it. Oh. Oh no, I called that back because of... this is actually good. Bring the tiger over here. Bring the tiger over here, please. Please. Please, 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 please. I want that. We might be able to kill that. Everything that we can kill is good at this point. I'm floating so many points. The problem is I just don't even know what I would want to buy. See, that is the problem. Because I have nothing that really does a trick here. I just don't have the tools that I need to win this. So, yeah, what am I gonna buy? Because it's not really gonna... Yeah, the elephant has this lockdown, of course. Bounces on that too. Oh, come on. Yeah, and now the elephant is gonna get in there. Is still alive? Oh, we can go after this now because we're not gonna grab ground over there anytime soon. But yeah, I think this is just GG. I mean, the problem with this division is I don't really know what map I want to play with, because like this is definitely not the map for it. CQC map is also not the map for it. The Ushas are also not the maps for it. Like mid-range map, Harrow is also not the map for it. So nothing is the map for it. Because yeah, I mean, he's probably outtrading me heavily, but it's mostly, my guess is going to be, it's mostly, yeah, look at that. It's massive. I think it's mostly going to be artillery. And yeah, and these guys, because I don't have 2k. I mean, yeah, these guys did a lot of damage, especially early on. Then the Lorraine. Yeah, just kill all my support weapons. And with this division, you really, really need them desperately. Like all this, like the support tools are absolutely crucial. They are must-haves. And yeah, you just don't have them with this division. If you have something like the Lorraine countering you. The plane, oh yeah, okay, the plane actually did a lot as well. I bought the A too late. That was definitely my bad. Yeah, see this Lorraine as well. Kill, and they also softened up a lot of things, right? Like a lot of losses were also because these things pinned, and then he could just move in the Sturmpanzer. Yeah, the elephant Sturmpanzer combo is just pretty much unbeatable for me. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't have 2k AT guns, but even if I had the Sturmpanzer can kill them, and the elephant can just block off everything that I have. I don't have the Panthers that can deal with it. Yeah, it's his 2k assets and TRT, really. And then I would say half of the infantry here that you actually see here has not actually killed those. It went in and surrendered after the Lorraine pinned them. So on my side, my 2k worked. I paid a lot of attention to it, but not enough, unfortunately. Fallschirmjäger, of course, yeah, but I mean, see, this is the problem with them. They're so good, they really do help, but at the end of the day, if there's a Lorraine just pinning them, they can't really do much. I should have brought in some more 50 mils as well, but the problem is also for them, I mean, the Lorraine would just kill them, so... Not much you can do. I mean, we knew that this was doomed from the start. I mean, the matchup was highly in his favor. There was no chance, there was no way I was ever going to win on that map with 52nd. The only reason why I didn't win earlier is because he was on the bad side. He played it super passively. He could have won so much earlier. Like, he just plays it super arty heavy, but he could have won this way early. All he needed to do is push at any given moment, and he would just win that. It just... was too afraid. I mean, he also said I didn't know the division, so he probably didn't know what he has to expect and played it better safe than sorry. Which, if I had good artillery, might have worked for me actually, but unfortunately, I did not. So yeah, let's go back to the deck now and talk about what I would change and what I would leave, because there's some things that I was thinking about during that game. So we're back with the deck, and it's time to talk about my thoughts of the division, the game, and this deck specifically. So let's start with the game. I mean, it was pretty clear that this was probably not going to be a win, just based on the map and matchup. So we kind of expected that, and it turned out to be correct. So I think he could have ended much earlier had he pushed a little bit more, which he could have. But I guess since he didn't know the division actually, yeah, he probably didn't know that he could have easily done that. Well, so what are my thoughts on the game otherwise? I mean, we've kind of seen really nicely what, and we transitioned to the division issue right away with that, basically. We've kind of seen the problems that it has, right? Having no armor in A and B phase really sucks. You are limited to AT, and the AT has its limitations too, right? I mean, this as your only actual ranged AT in A phase is really problematic, right? You can't take either of these in A phase. So that's that's a stretch. 3 AT guns is the only thing you have above 1,000 meters. That's not a whole lot. Basically nothing. And then you have more in B phase, but I mean it's still a problem, and we're gonna get to the why in a second. Yeah, having no armor is really a problem. Now, next thing is everything that you have, and this is kind of what I'm going to here, is most of the things that you have are soft targets, right? You're relying on stationary, as in it is not very mobile, stationary soft targets, which means they are super easily killed by planes and artillery, and we've seen that, right? I mean, his arty was absolutely shredding me. There was no way I was going to win that, just already because of the arty disparity. Like, he could absolutely destroy everything that I had. I could not really do the same to him. Even if I tried to be, a full 122 is not exactly what you need for that. But yeah, this makes it even harder, and you can't even counter that artery effectively, right? You're just not set up for an arty war. The planes you can counter to some extent, but yeah. So and then the next issue that we've seen here as well. If I'm not really sure if you should rely on your planes in this division, I feel like you kind of need to, but probably there might be workarounds without it, because I'm not convinced on it. Because the problem is, in A phase, if there's artillery, you have these, and they can do the trick kind of right, but they're not great. And in B phase, these are okay, but depending on what he has and how well he uses it, it's still going to be tricky to actually open up the skies for your Air Force. So there's going to be a problem in that. And this kind of leads me to the last thing that I want to talk about. About the division is it's kind of dysfunctional in many ways, in my opinion, because you don't have. So first of all, you're very infantry heavy, which doesn't really work well when you're at range. But it's not exactly a CQC powerhouse, right? It's actually quite far from it. So that's a problem. Next up, we do have the issue that you kind of need to support this well with support weapons, artillery, and planes. Now, guess what you don't really have? You have a support tab, that's all right, but it is very limited in range once again. You have artillery, but what you really need, like the radio stuff, comes in B phase, and you have no long range big artillery. And then we touched on this, right? This is not the arty tab. It can do the trick depending on the situation, but it's not fantastic if you really need to keep the skies clear for your planes. So that's kind of an issue, right? And then the armor that you do have, the limited amount that you have, doesn't really work well together with your infantry. Because it still doesn't work well against light armor. That is what really threatens your infantry. And I mean, with this division being so infantry heavy, medium and heavy armor is just not what is your biggest threat. Because like the scenario where when you're playing against such a division is that either the map is really not favoring that division, or and then you don't need the Panthers either, because these will actually do the trick, or the map actually favors this kind of division and is screwed anyway. So that's kind of how I see it. So and I actually do want to compare this to Ruchmarapana and 716, because I do think. So in the tier list from Koenig, this is D tier. I think it's F tier. straight up. It is on the same level as 716th, in my opinion. Again, as I said when I played 716th and talked about it in that video, basically, if your division is overall not so strong, but at least has like a theme to it, like the one thing that it is good at, then you can still at least have some success and fun with that division. Right, Fun is a great example for this, is why I bring it up. Yeah, you do have a little bit more armor, but it's not that much. It's still very limited, and you have this niche. The one thing that you do well, which is CQC. Now, it's not in the greatest spot at the moment. That's kind of besides the point. But you can definitely have success and fun with this at CQC. There's many maps where it doesn't work, but that's all right. Right, it has the maps where it can work, and there it works decently well. And everything that you can have in that division works around the theme of that division, right? You have light armor that supports well at close range, because you're playing a close range division. You have your artillery and air force that can support your infantry as needed. You have all these tools that kind of come together, not to the best division there is, but they support the main core of the division. Now, if this division, same as 716, there's none of that. There is, like, as we've seen, there's things that go in one direction, there's things that go in another direction that just don't really link up well. And if you compare this to 716, 716 has at least mobile AT. It has more AT, and its infantry is not really worse than this. So... And you have a functional RT tab that can support your stuff. You have a support tab that can do stuff. You have a better AT tab. And you have at least some lighter armor, even though only in B phase. So I think this, in my opinion, is at least as bad as 716, if not even actually worse. Because I feel like from the tools that you really need, you just don't have enough of it in A and B phase at all. And the fact that you actually get real armor in C phase doesn't really make up for the fact. Now, how would I change it? So the one thing that I've noticed is I don't think balance is a way to go with this. We've seen it right here. If you go for the long RT grind, there's just no chance of you winning. Like, you're not going to win that. So I think we're going to have to switch to Maverick just by necessity. It's not that I particularly like it because of the phase locking to C phase of your armor, but I think this is the way to go. And the way you probably have to play this is be, again, hyper efficient with your traits and just kind of then outspam your opponent. Because when it comes to holding, you do have some potential with this division, right? At least in some ways. So, yeah. Now, how would I change the tabs? Not by a lot, if I'm going to be honest. But there's some changes that I think we should make. Now, the most obvious things is C-phase stuff. So you could say, okay, we don't need the Panther now. And I actually disagree. Because that thing can still be helpful later on. Now, we also have the Jagdpanzer, and they have, they kind of overlap in their use because... both are relatively heavily. I would take the leader though. I don't think we need... Losing one is totally okay. Having another leader is great. So this is one thing that I would do. I do not think... So the question we have to ask ourselves is, if we were to get rid of either one of these, what would it take? And we get 2 activation points, which is not a whole lot. And as it is built currently, the only thing you can get is more artillery, which we really don't need. So I think it's fine keeping both them in. Then you have the option, we have the flexibility. You will still need them in C phase, even though you're not playing for C phase really. I think it's still necessary. Recon tab, I would leave it as is. Maverick, maybe it's worth not vetting this. I do think it's worth for the performance though, but maybe we need it unvetted, which I really hate. So you can try this like this. One thing that I definitely noticed is I do think Maverick, it makes even more sense to keep the FG42 there. But even if you're not playing it Maverick, I kind of realized afterwards is that if you have this thing in A phase, this is kind of a force multiplier. If we have this in A phase, we really do not need to take the FG42 in A phase, because this thing will absolutely shred. So the 50 mil is there to kind of help your infantry win when it can't absolutely shred. And in A phase, you do have the capacity to really micro that. In B phase, you might not, especially with Maverick. So I think FG42 in B phase is actually the way to go, even though I think when you want to be more aggressive, it's probably better having the early dominance in A phase, but you will probably have to establish that with the 50 mil. I do not think that this division works without the 50 mil. Gonna be very honest here. You want to play this in areas where you can actually really use your infantry, not slow quest, and you want to use your 50 mils. Because I think if you don't use this well, it's not going to work. And then maybe I kind of start to get an idea how you want to play this. I'm still not saying it's good, but maybe I think you really have to lean heavily into your infantry and the fact that a lot of it is relatively cheap. And then you would just want to help your cheap infantry win fights with this. You can be kind of everywhere. Just try to surrender things, mix in your AT. Maybe that's the kind of play you have to go for. Half tracks you can kind of deal with these guys. The back 36 if necessary, so that's maybe the overall strategy that you aim for. Support tab I wouldn't really change, so infantry tab otherwise it wouldn't change, because there's nothing here that we really want to have. Of course, Panzergranates earlier on I would wish to have, but we cannot get that. And these, the only thing here that I could be sold on taking are these guys. And this sounds really weird, because they're not even super chunky, right? So that, you know, this is the most obvious thing. You take the Flakkampftruppen for the chunkiness. No, these have rated rates, and you just spam them around everywhere, be annoying, and try to get into backlines and force your opponent to react to that. This I could definitely see, but then what will we take out? I don't know. I still believe that the leadership thing is important, having lots of leaders in this division. So even on Maverick, where I usually don't bring commander, for example, so I would rather have the leaders in, and I think we need all the infantry that we have in right now. But this is one thing that I could definitely see. Just a quick addition here, a change that I actually made before I started recording. So I did switch transport. I talked about it in the video. That in the game I did have these guys in the CIS 5V, and now they are in the Opel Blitz, and I took the Opel Blitz from the FSA FG42. I had them in there, and originally because they used to be in A phase, and then I switched them to B phase and kind of forgot about the Opel Blitz thing. But of course, it makes much more sense to have it in A phase where it really matters. And the reason why I specifically want the Sicherungs and the Panzerfaust is that this thing I want to have there as fast as possible for the firepower, and this thing I want to have there as fast as possible for the AT rifle to deal with potential light armor. This could have helped a lot on my left flank at the start against this 20mm cars. Probably wouldn't have saved the day, but at least it would have been helpful. So this is why I think it's very, very important that you bring these guys in the Opel Blitz. AT tab, I really feel like you kind of need this, but we also need this. So it's not really many options there. AA tab, good as it is. Artillery tab, I think you want to have these for the 2K when you need it. The extra AT is also very nice. Single vet is definitely the way to go. I cannot double vet it anyway. These things we don't need 4 of them. I think we just single that for a little bit better performance. This is it. I would still want to have some artillery in A phase. I think having none is probably really bad, because you want to use a plane, there's AA, you probably want to have that mortar available to you. If you decide not to take it, then I could definitely be sold on not taking the Panther either, and instead either take more AT, or go with the Feldjäger as well, take these guys in B phase, because they're still very nice to have in B phase. I don't think it's usually worth it. With this division, it maybe kind of is. So I think there's definitely options there. But yeah, I think personally that having, or more recon is also not a bad idea. But I think that having mortars in A phase is really worth it. And then the air tab, I think we just leave it as it is, except that we move these to B phase because we're not going to air spam as hard. I think it's best not to rely too much on your air tab, but especially this pair here, you might need. This one, I would probably hold back on that and only use it if necessary, and really try to not force your opponent to buy too much AA so that these two will be able to work when you really need it. I think this is the way to go. And then if you can still get a little bit of air spam going, but keep it downtown a bit. Yeah, this is how I would build it. This is how I think it's probably best played. Yeah, I've shared my thoughts on the division. I am not a fan of it. This is just pure pain. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day and see you next time.